Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? I'm certainly glad to see you. Glad to be with you once again. It really means a lot to me, and I'm just so grateful for this time that we're able to share. It means the world to me. Thank you again for tuning in, and welcome to another edition of TJ's Topics. And that's me. I'm TJ. Certainly a joy, an honor, and a privilege to be able to come into your presence on any given occasion. And I would also like to say welcome to the month of December. We have arrived in the 12th month of the year, the last month of 2024. I tell you, we've come a long ways. Ooh, man, it's been a rough year. I'm telling you. And and speaking of a rough year, I could probably name a number of things that have made this year rough. And one thing in particular that just happened recently, which I will get into as we go along. So let me just cut right to the chase, okay? And share with you what my topic is for today. And that is bootlickers and buttkissers. Again, bootlickers and buttkissers. Now, to be honest with you, a bootlicker and a buttkisser, well, basically they're one and the same. You know, the two terms are interchangeable. Because basically you have the same, have the two individuals. They may be two individuals, or they could be the same individual, because in essence, they're doing the same thing. And I think that a number of us know some bootlickers out here or some butt kissers. But I'm going to tell you this, it's never a good thing to be either or. Whatever term you want to use, it's never a good thing, because one thing, it makes you look bad, and you can't expect to gain anything or get anywhere in life being such. It's just not good. It makes your character and everything about you look completely ridiculous and downright awful. And I don't think too many people want to deal with folks like that either. At least I know I don't. Now, what is a bootlicker? That's the question we need to ask, because though these terms have been around a long time, bootlicker or butt kisser, or there's another word that you use in the place of the word butt, which we will get to. There may be people out here who don't quite understand what they mean, what these terms mean. They're pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. But let's just get into it, and we can explain it a little better. And that way, whoever is watching, if they don't understand what it means to be a bootlicker or a butt kisser, then by the end of this hour or this time that we're together, they'll know. So what is a bootlicker? A bootlicker is someone who seeks favor or goodwill in a servile, degraded way. Someone who praises or is extremely polite to a more powerful or rich person in a way that is not sincere, usually in order to get an advantage for themselves. Now, tell me this, have you ever met someone like that who was always up in somebody's face, whether it's a supervisor or some person of influence, a significant person in the community, a big, kind of an upstanding citizen in the community, and and whoever it was that fits into this category, they were always in those people's faces, complimenting them, telling them how good they look or how well they're doing in their capacity, whatever capacity in which they served. And though there's nothing wrong with complimenting people, I compliment people all the time on their looks, their outfits, their hair, whatever, or doing a good job in whatever it is that they do. But there's a difference between being sincere and being honest and just flat out kissing up to them, which is what those bootlickers or butt kissers typically do. They like to kiss up to people and suck up to them. That's what they do because they're trying to get ahead some kind of way. They're trying to gain something that they might not otherwise be able to gain on their own merit. And that's what a bootlicker does, because they, in their heart, they know that they don't necessarily have what it takes to succeed. And they're not always gifted or talented. And therefore they feel like the only way they can get anywhere in their career field or in life altogether is if they, kind of ease their way up to certain people, a certain group or a certain individual who holds the power and who is able to make things happen. They have to get up to them in order to, have a chance at getting anywhere. But I don't think that's a good thing to do. Do you? Because people don't respect you when you do stuff like that. And in doing so, it's like you really don't even respect yourself. And a good question to ask right here is, how can anyone expect others to respect them when they don't even have respect for themselves? Now, here are some examples of bootlickers, and they are politicians, co-workers, and I got one more example, church members. Because how many of y'all know that there are people in church who kiss butt too, and they can be a bootlicker as well. Politicians, particularly those on Capitol Hill, all those people up there in Washington, and not just on Capitol Hill, but some of the local politicians tend to do the same thing sometimes. They have to kiss up to somebody who's, been around for a long time, hoping to win brownie points with them, whereby they might receive an endorsement or two, which would ultimately boost them up to being elected to a certain office. If not, trying to gain that office, of the office of the one to whom they're kissing up. That's a bootlicker and a butt kisser. Co-workers, people you work with on a job, kissing up to the supervisor, whoever the boss is, in the hopes of landing a big pay raise or getting a promotion of some kind, different little perks that might be offered in the workplace. That's a bootlicker and a butt kisser. And then coworkers, you have those who like to throw their colleagues under the bus sometimes. They want to tell lies and snitch, run around and, telling this and telling that. I've encountered a number of bootlickers in my time in the workplace. And there was one I encountered whom I so desperately wanted to take a broomstick and knock him upside the head. But something wouldn't let me do it. And I'm looking back now, I'm glad I didn't. And church members. Now, why would I list church members among examples of those who tend to be bootlickers? Well, there's a reason behind that, because I've encountered people like that too in my past. They're mainly those who, in essence, or figuratively speaking, tap dance for watermelons in an attempt to win favor from and the approval of the pastor. You know, they want to look good in front of the pastor. They want him to smile upon them. They want him to recognize them amongst the congregation during service. You know, that's why they'll go above and beyond doing certain things in and around the church, so that they can receive praise and adoration from the man of God. Bootlicking in the church. That's what they do. I've seen it many times. Now, we're talking about bootlickers and butt kissers. Now let's get into the term butt kissing right quick. Butt kisser. Now, the other word that I was telling you about that you can substitute for butt is ass. ASS. And we've all heard that phrase, making an ass out of yourself. Well, that's what bootlickers do. They make an ass out of themselves. Butt kisser, or the substitute term ass kisser, is a person who tries to please someone in order to gain personal advantage. You know, any kind of personal advantage that they think they can achieve or gain. They're willing to kiss as many asses as they have to, no matter whose it is. Now, according to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, the first known usage of the term butt kisser or ass kissing, whichever one you want to use, was in 1942. Now, for those of you who know history, 1942 was during World War II. So that term came about during World War II, and that ran from 1941 to 1945. So apparently there was some butt kissing or ass kissing going on during World War II, during the administration of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was the longest serving president of the United States. Oh man, it's ridiculous. But you know, I'm willing to believe that butt kissing has been going on even before 1942. I mean, pretty much as long as the world has been around. But the term itself didn't come into being until the 1940s. But yeah, people have been kissing somebody's ass for a long time. Now, what are the character traits of a butt kisser? Well, you may find them to do a lot of flattery, they're excessive flattery, you know, a bunch of insincere compliments, particularly to a person who is in authority or significantly wealthy. Because again, they're looking to gain something that they might not otherwise gain on their own merit. That is what butt kissing is all about. You know, kissing up to them, sucking up to them. That's what it is. So let me ask you this before I go. Have you ever reduced yourself to kissing somebody's butt, or if you want to call it a bootlicker? Have you ever done anything like that? Because be honest with you, I think in some form or fashion, we all have been guilty of that, knowingly or unknowingly. But if you know that you're a butt kisser or a bootlicker and you insist on continuing to do it, then that really makes you look bad as a person, because it's not a good thing to do. And the people whose butt you're kissing or whose boots you're licking, they don't care about you. They don't have any regard for you whatsoever. To them, you're just a piece of gum stuck under the bottom of their shoe, or a little of that mud that they step in, when it's raining, trying to get in the house. That's all you are. So I wouldn't encourage anyone to do anything like that under any circumstances, regardless of what they may think they could possibly gain from it. So with that being said, I want to say thank you very much. And this is the conclusion of today's topic: bootlickers and butt kissers. And I tell you, it's one thing that none of us should ever strive to be. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of TJ's Topics. I really do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you again on the next go round, okay? As we proceed through this month of December, getting close to Christmas. And before you know it, we'll be saying Happy New Year. I'm excited about it, and I hope you are too. This is Taryn Jerome Harris, reminding all of you that every round goes higher and higher. Have a good day, everybody, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.